Welcome to the Multiverse. I'm Jason. I'm your friendly local store owner. And today we're going to be walking through the releases that come out this week. So releases that come out on Wednesday, the 22nd of August. And we're sorted for comics. They're alphabetical. It's not broken up by publisher or genre. I'll call out my favorites, some of the things that I'm really looking forward to, and I'd love to see comments back from you on what you're looking forward to the most here. Here we go. We're going to start off at the very top, 2000 AD Progressive Pack. It's a mature comic. Then we've got Absolute Power, Task Force 7, number 4 of 7. I've been enjoying the Absolute Power series, so hopefully you have as well. It looks like it's going to be really great. We're about halfway through here, so this will be a good one for us to all read together. I've been surprised how much I liked Absolute Power, so I encourage you to pick up the main book for certain, but Task Force 7 is also pretty good. The facsimile edition from a classic Spidey comic, number 259. We've got an Amazing Spiderman Annual coming out this week. Archer and Armstrong, Assassin's Nation, number 1. I don't know much about this one. I haven't read much on this one, so check it out if you like. Of course, we've got an Archie Jumbo Comics Digest, number 353. We've been loving Barbaric at the shop. So Barbaric versus Deathstalker, that is a one-shot, and man, Barbaric's just hilarious. Anytime you have a talking murder axe, you know you've got a winner on your hands, and that's what we've got with Barbaric. World's Finest is the first comic I read when I bring home some books. I think it's extraordinary. We've got Dan Mora on art. We've got Mark Waid writing. It is so freaking good. And I encourage you to pick that up. Everybody should be reading this. It's the best Batman book and the best Superman book on the market. The World's Finest is my personal favorite. So I encourage you to pick it up. Just tons of fun, classic superhero goodness. So it's totally worth your time. Pick that one up. That's on my list for top read for the week. That's what I'm looking for. Top read for the week. All right. Belladonna's in here. Biker Mice from Mars. Now, this is one that has a cult following. I don't happen to be in the cult of the Biker Mice, but there are a ton that are. Along with that, you've got Black Cloak 7, Black Cotton number 1, Blood Squad 7, number 4, and I've got a bunch of covers for that. Blown Away, 5 of 5. We're going to wrap up the story for Blown Away coming out of Boom Studios. Briar number 8, and covers galore for Briar. Bruce Dickens, The Mandrake Project number 3. Man, this is a second print for Berserker, but I love the name for this one. It's Berserker, A Face Full of Bullets. A Face Full of Bullets. There's got to be a better way to say it, but it looks pretty cool. Collects at the Battle of Universal City, number 3, and Charm City, number 2. Chaco Alecia is coming out. That's a number 1 for Chaco Alecia. What in the world is that thing about? You want to check that out? Let's see what that story is here. When the son of the most famous luchador in Slam One is put in a coma, the Chaco Alecia team must begrudgingly come back to find the person responsible while saving the city from a giant bedpan monster. Gross. Enjoy the world premiere first issue of this non-stop series, followed by the entire story collected soon after in one volume. Okay, there you go. Chaco Alecia. It's ready for you today. All right, next up, we have Conan the Barbarian number 14 and all the covers that go with that. We've got a great facsimile cover of Crisis on Infinite Earths, and that includes a blank cover. So there's going to be, I believe there's a foil as well. So there's a regular cover A, there's a foil variant on this, and there's a blank. I'm not sure what you do with blank on this one, because this is that cover that has all the different heads. I'm not sure who you're going to get to draw that for you. But there you go, blank cover for that one. Critter number 4, Crocodile Black, Cross Country. We've got the Crying Boy coming next. Cullen Bunn's Body Bag. I have not read Body Bag, but the cover's kind of cool. The cover looks like a zipped up body bag, so I dig that. It is labeled mature, so careful with that stuff. But yeah, it looks fun. I may actually take a look. It's instead of saying don't overlook, it just says overlook. Like, overlook this one, please. That's interesting. Cult of the Lamb. Then we're into Daredevil, Woman Without Fear, and the cover looks interesting. It's Electra Devil fighting the new Punisher, and that sounds interesting to me. So I might actually pick this one up. It's the second issue of Daredevil, Woman Without Fear, and looks pretty solid. Dark Knights of Steel All Winter. Dark Knights of Steel is probably my favorite Elseworlds take on sort of the Justice League kind of thing. I really enjoy it. I encourage you to take a look as well. It is absolutely worth your time to read that one. Deadpool number 5 is coming through next. I've been picking up Deadpool lately. I really got into the movie. You can listen on our previous podcast what the full team thinks of that, but it was pretty solid. And I've been picking up Deadpool just to enjoy. They've got a movie variant with Peggy the Ugliest Dog in the UK who played Dogpool. So if you're interested in said cover and said book, there you go. That looks like it might be worth your time. Destro was always my favorite G.I. Joe bad guy, and he's got his own series. We're about halfway through. It's a 5-issue series. We're on number 3 right now. Dick Tracy's got a new book out. Number 4 of that run is out. And then we've got some horror company comics coming out, starting with The Abyss. Final Fight number 2 right after that. Into the G's, we've got Gargoyles Quest. I love the Gargoyles. I'm thrilled that we've got new Gargoyles. And I've not picked up Gargoyles Quest yet. This is number 4. I need to go get caught up on that. I enjoy the Gargoyles quite a bit. That's one of my nostalgic favorites. Speaking of Gatchaman, or as I knew it, Battle of the Planets is back out. And there's a Gatchaman main book with the G-Force, or what I knew as the G-Force in there. They're called like Space Ninjas in this thing. And so that main book is Gatchaman. Then they've got a Ken book, who's like the main dude, like the leader of that group. And then Galactor, the bad guy, has his own book for Gatchaman as well. So that Galactor book is out this week, number 2 of 4. If you are near us, if you don't have a friendly local game store that you go to and you are near us, definitely swing by and pick up those. That's been a lot of fun. So I picked up number 1 and number 2 of Gatchaman, and number 1 of Ken and Galactor. So I'll be picking this one up. Get Fury number 4 is out this week. Ghost Rider Final Vengeance number 6. Giant Size Thor. This is a brand new Thor Hercules story with a backup classic story added in. So that Giant Size Thor book looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. A cover looks great on that. I would pick it up as well. G.I. Joe, Real American Hero. Skybound has been doing great stuff with G.I. Joe. This is the series that just picked up where the last one left off. So you can get your normal fix of Joe and pick up right where you left off on that one. Gotham City Sirens, number 3 of 4. We're about to wrap up our Sirens story, so that is worth your time. If you've been reading that, it's pretty good fun, so I encourage you to keep picking that up. Green Lantern War Journal, number 12. This has been a great book. I'm a big Kyle Rayner fan, and I've gotten to see some glimpses into our friend Kyle as this one's gone along, and I encourage you to pick this one up. It's got a Jon Stewart cover this time, so Jon Stewart's really the main character in this book, so I would take a look at that as well. Greylock number 2. Grim Universe has some books coming out this week. Gun Honey Collision Course number 3. What I'll say is one of the guys in the shop is a giant Gun Honey fan, so here we go. He's got his book ready to go for him. Hercules number 4. Again, with these Disney runs, I've enjoyed those quite a bit. This is a new book that's coming out called Huge Detective. So Huge Detective, the story is there's a giant who happens to be like a Sherlock-y, really good detective, paired up with another person, a normal-sized human that is a part of this. The main image, the A cover, is kind of a cute little thing where he's folded some origami. but it's like the size of this person that he's solving the crime with. So that's a pretty neat thing. So huge detective, just a bit of a different take on the detective story. I don't know how he gets in and sees all the details. We'll see. Like, he must have a giant, like the magnifying glass, like Sherlock would carry his magnifying glass. He's got a giant version of that, I suppose. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Jenny Sparks. Jenny Sparks is a fan favorite. Everybody loves Jenny Sparks. She's got her own book that is starting. #1 comes out this week. So I encourage you to pick that up from DC. Hellblazer, Dead in America. #8 is coming out. Johnny Quest, #1. Joy Operations 2, #3 is coming out as well. All right, we've got Jungle Fantasy coming out, followed by our good friend Darkwing Duck. Justice Ducks are out. That's the Justice League, but with ducks, I suppose. #5. I've not been reading Darkwing, but that looks like fun, so I might do that next. Kids and Monsters, #1. This is a new series that's coming out. Kids and Monsters. Speaking of kids, we've got Kid Venom, a second print of the Kid Venom #1 book. So we've got a second print variant coming out with a pretty cool negative space use, negative space view. I dig it. I dig the new look for Kid Venom on this thing. I dig it. Lady Death Brazen. So Lady Death Brazen, the foil set is here. The Last Harlemite. The Last Harlemite looks like a post-apocalyptic storyline. I've not seen anything on this one. Let's see what this one's all about. This is in the ruins of downtown Manhattan. Mansa ventures on a daring quest fueled by memories of his sister and loyal companion Benzo as he navigates through the perilous post-apocalyptic terrain. Confronting mutated beast, Mansa discovers that true adventure lies not just in overcoming obstacles, but in the unbreakable bonds forged with his friends Miguel and Tommy. They couldn't have come up with a better name for Tommy. Like, man. The rest, pretty great. Pretty great. Sounds like fun. All right, so that's The Last Harlemite. Post-apocalyptic it is. Lawful #3 of 8. Man, that is a killer cover too, isn't it? Love that cover for Lawful. Life #1. Ooh, that's interesting looking. What's that about? Life. 56-page series debut. Oh, it's a Distillery book. That's why it's laid out that way. Okay. It's from Distillery. Brian Azzarello, who we know from Blood Brothers, Mother, 100 Bullets. That's worth looking at. Okay. Man, that is a good looking book. Huh. I may have to do this one. Yeah, that might be worth your time. Life may be worth your time. Here we go. Local Man #13. Luchaverse. #1. Look at that one. That's a pretty great one. Luchaverse #2. And #1, I think this is just a delayed variant. It's a foil variant, so it's probably delayed. Luchaverse #2 looks like fun as well. Lunar Lodge, Mad Magazine. We love Mad Magazine. Man Goat and Bunny Man Beware. And we're off. We got Miles Morales coming up next. Miles Morales Spider-Man has an annual coming out this week. Morningstar #5. My Bad Escape from Peculiar Island. And then My Little Pony, My Little Pony. Set Your Sail #5. There we are. Namor #2. I thought this was out a while ago. Interesting. I thought we already had Namor #2. Guess not. That was delayed because I read Namor for #1 a while back, I feel like. Okay. Namor #2. It's out. I love Namor, so pick that one up. Nightclub 2 #1. And here we are, the great Tom Taylor's Nightwing. That is worth your time. And you got to be collecting these Beachbody covers. We've got Nightwing in a swimsuit for one of them. We've got a bunch of different variants for Nightwing this time around, including the action figure variant, a Superpowers action figure variant, which looks pretty cool. Is that what's on the? Almost looks like a Toys R Us price tag on the action figure variant. It's cool. It looks good. I like it. There's also a Beetlejuice variant. Man, if you're into Beetlejuice, now's the time to do it. There's the movie's coming out pretty soon here. Nouns of Nountown, number 4 of 6. Paranoid Gardens, Patra. Let's see, we've got Permadeath 1. Then we're into Phoenix number 2. So if you've been following Phoenix, I've not gotten all the X books, but I am going to pick up Phoenix, so that's worth your time. Planetary Expansion number 3, Plastic, which is, I'm told, is an amazing story. Power Fantasy 1, and then Powerpuff Girls number 1. And then we've got Powerpuff Girls number 2. I wish I knew the song for that one. I'd do that for you. Power Rangers come up. All the powers are here. Predator versus Black Panther number 1. Now I'm looking forward to this one. There's a bazillion covers for it. I don't even want to count how many covers there are, but there's a bunch. That is worth your time. So I will. That isn't Black Panther who you want to go after Predator. Don't you want to see that fight? I want to see that fight. So that looks like it's worth our time. Redcoat number 5 is coming out. I love the concept of Redcoat. I think Redcoat's a killer idea. I also like Brian Hitch a lot, and he's involved, so that's worth your time. Red Light number 4, Red Sonja, Rick and Morty, Youth and Rick Volt number 1 is coming out. Rivers of London, Robot Plus Girl number 3, Rook Exodus number 3, Scale Trade number 4, and Scarlet Witch is rounding this one out. Scarlet Witch number 3. And we've got more covers for Scarlet Witch. For some reason, another Destro. Because alphabetically it's the SDCC variant. A bunch of SDCC stuff, which we didn't get into the store, but hopefully you guys had a chance to order it. Self-Help number 3, 7 Years in Darkness, Something Crawled Out number 1. This is a new book from Vault, and we do like Vault. So a new book from Vault coming out. Let's see, Space Ghost number 4. Now this book is killer. If you haven't read Space Ghost yet, it's not your old school Space Ghost. It is worth your time. I would pick that one up. Spider-Man Reign 2. I love Spider-Man Reign. It's one of my favorite Spider-Man stories. I'm not a huge Spider-Man fan. It's one that I really dug. Reign 2 is just picking up where that left off in that universe. So worth picking up. Spider-Woman number 10. All of the Spider-Woman covers look so classic to me. So love that. Stand Still number 1. It's a new Image book. Let's see what that's all about. Miniseries premiere, meet Riker Rule, an enigmatic, lecherous, and clinically insane sociopath who is suddenly in possession of a top secret device that can freeze time. Of course, yeah, of course. Now, as the bodies of the world leaders pile up, famous works of art go missing and other strange crimes dominate the headlines. Only the device's creator, a run-of-the-mill science geek, knows what's happening and sets out to stop Riker's seemingly endless revenge tour. If you could stop time, what wouldn't you do? I think there's another book that came out that was very similar to this, but not Sex Criminals, because that is one, but they had a different way of stopping time. No, there's a book, I can't remember what it was, that is similar premise to this. They could stop time. All right, we've got all the Star titles coming up. So Star Trek 23, Star Wars 49 is coming up. Ahsoka High Republic Adventures is this week. And then we're into Superman. Now, when last we saw our hero Superman, he didn't have powers, and he still doesn't. He's running around with Zatanna. She doesn't have magic. He doesn't have powers, and they're going to see what they can do to figure out how to solve the problem of where they find themselves right now. I love Superman, by the way. You can also get yourself a Superman Beach Bod cover. So if you want that, you can jump right on it. I've not been collecting the Beach Bod covers, not even the Nightwing one. It is what it is. All right. Tarot, Witch of the Black Rose, number 119, Krampus Embrace is out. Thundercats number 7. I have enjoyed Thundercats. It's been great. You should try it too. I do enjoy Thundercats. I also enjoyed Thundercats Chitara when it comes out. So try that out. Titans number 14. The Titans are written by Tom Taylor as well as Nightwing. So he's probably my favorite writer in the comic world these days. He's going to be picking up some of my favorite books in a minute. So I'm pretty excited about that. Titans is here. So Titans number 14. Tomorrow Girl number 6. Ultimates number 2 and Ultimate Spider-Man number 8. So Ultimate Spider-Man is another one of my favorite books. I pick it up, I read it as quickly as I can every week, and Ultimates started out strong. I've read the first issue. This is the second issue coming out. That is definitely worth your time. Usagi Yojimbo is coming out, and then our good friend Miss Vampirella. And there's Vampirella all over the place. You can get all the Vampirellas. Venom War Carnage number 1 is out. All the Venom War stuff is coming now, right? So we're going to get into that. Venom War Venomous number 1. I kind of dig the Venomous character, and it's like there's like an agent. It's not Agent Venom. It's Agent Anti-Venom, I think, is who this is. And that's a cool look. So that might be worth your time as well. I'll be picking up the Venomous book, and I'm not even much of a Venom fan. I'm not as much in the Spideyverse, but I'll pick up Venomous. I don't know why, it's just caught my attention. So there we go. I kind of like Agent Venom, I always have. So we'll see how that one goes. Walking Dead is here, and these are the updated Walking Dead Deluxes that are color versions. So we're up to 95 on those. They are released monthly, and we're up to 95. Warrior Nun, Dora Victorian bag set. So Warrior Nun is interesting. I watched the TV show Warrior Nun, and I don't know if this book is the same as the show. I kind of like the show. It's like a guilty pleasure. So, I mean, maybe. Witchblade, I've been digging Witchblade. I enjoyed first issue. Issue 2's coming up. I used to like the old TV series, so I picked up the book. I didn't read the old book, but I'm reading this new one. Wolverine Deep Cut number 1 is here, but then here is the one that I'm most excited about, which is Wolverine Revenge number 1. Basically, a bunch of Wolverine's foes have come together to attack him, and I'm assuming, since it's a mini series, that it won't end at 1, but I'm also assuming Wolverine's gonna have his rear end handed to him, because he's got to have something to get revenge about. So this is probably going to be a good book. I would imagine it's worth your time. And 2 of the covers have dinosaurs. I don't know what the dinosaur situation is, but yeah, I hope there's Wolverine with dinosaurs. That would be cool. I would enjoy that. Look how many covers there are. 9 different covers. It's ridiculous. We don't need 9 covers for the Wolverine miniseries. It makes no sense. Whatever. All right. Wonder Woman number 12. This has been a great Wonder Woman run. Number 12 is here. This is Absolute Power tie-in that's coming in as well. So I've enjoyed Wonder Woman. I haven't historically been a Wonder Woman fan. Well, it's not that I'm not a fan. I haven't really picked up her books. I've picked up this run, and I've enjoyed it quite a bit, Tom King's run. So I would encourage you to do the same. Finally, we are at Yor, the Hunter from the Future. So Yor is here, the Hunter from the Future. All right, so let me tell you a couple of things. One, many of these books, not all of these books, many of these books are going to be at our shop, the Multiverse, on Wednesday. If you are watching this and you don't live near us, you're not near Hearst, Texas, and instead you live in another part of the country, go see your friendly local game shop. They will be able to help you out. If you don't have a friendly local game shop, I encourage you to shop with us. We would love to be the online version of that for you, and you can fill out a subscription for this for your comics, and we would love to send those to you. One last thing. If you saw something in here and you're like, oh man, I really like this one book, like Biker Mice from Mars, for example. That's one that has a cult following. We don't buy a lot of that for the shelf. Most places don't buy a lot of that for the shelf. Really, you need to order that from us, right? Here's how you do that. When you log in, so right now I'm on release dates, and I'm on this week, and the release dates for this week, and comics, you can go to Final Call, or FOC. This is where this tells you which books is the last chance to order them this week. So I filter it down to comics usually, and you can go and see which of these is last chance to order. Now, we order these books on Mondays. So it's probably too late during this recording for you to get the books that I'm showing you right now. But what will happen is you'll see next week's on there. the next time, right? So you'll see the ones for the 26th show up next week, and that's what you want to order. Go through, just see what's coming out. We have, when you can order all of the books that are listed here, because we haven't put our final orders in. And again, if you've got something, most of the books, if you've got a long-term subscription with us, you're fine. We're going to pick up, if you pick up Amazing Spider-Man and you get it every month, you'll still get number 58 without having to click a button. But if you want the Chris Allen Stormbreakers variant cover, you may want to make that change. You may want to tell us, hey, here's the cover I want on this book, right? Or if you want the Nanzi Boys number 4, the cover B, you're gonna have to tell us about that, because we won't be stocking a Nanzi Boys number 4 cover B. So those are the sorts of things you want to do on Last Call. All right, I invite you to do that. You can find us on our site, multiverse.shop. Right there at the very top, it's manage your subscription or sign up. And if you haven't signed up, I encourage you to do that. All right, thanks so much. Enjoy this week's comics.